Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Alana DeGrassa, and I'm the president of Turning on the Lights Global Institute. I want to welcome you to Business Communication Mastery. Design your profit blueprint with Dr. D. You will want to make sure that you have a pen, a journal, and maybe even your laptop open because you will want to take notes as we begin this journey together. I want to also let you know that you are in for an amazing time. This is your time to really craft and think about your mission, your why, and why you want to help those that you say you want to help to solve certain problems. Some of you are in the finance industry. Some of you are in health and life balance. Some of you want to go into coaching. Some of you want to go into speaking. Whatever your industry is, remember that not only do you need to have the vision in mind, but you also want to have the process and system in mind. And that's what business communication mastery is all about. It's about giving you the tools and the strategies that you will need to succeed. So let's jump into our very first lecture. Are you ready to put your sneakers on? You know what? When it's time for me to go running or go to the gym, I make sure that I've had ample rest, that I have plenty of water to be refreshed, and that I have the right mindset to really get things going. I want to remind you that this process with BCM, it's not a quick fix. It's really a true process where I believe if you take time to listen to the lectures, utilize the resources that I provide you with, you will be able to see a different person and perhaps would have launched a business between now, 6 months, or even a year from now. So I want to encourage you, get ready, get ready, get ready. What are the things that you can do to show up? Number one, make sure you're part of our BCM private community. This is just for those who are in the BCM coaching experience. And mind you, as this is a very small group, with time it will continually grow with other individuals like yourself who are looking to share and expand their vision and process and service with others. Now we're living in a Web 2.0 world, and a lot of individuals are saying, can you show me the money? I mean, how can I possibly create something and create a revenue stream that will really help to solve a solution or solve a challenge for someone else? But did you know that nowadays, thousands of individuals first log on to Google just to find articles, solutions, tips, books, and more to help them solve their anticipated problems? So the trends are changing, and I want to let you know that instead of covering your eyes to these trends, why don't you try to be open? We are living in what is known as a Web 2.0 world, and that just means that we are living in a world where things are constantly moving and shifting. See, I like to call it a digital doorway. You have things like ebooks, on-demand videos, tutoring, consulting, speaking, and internationalization movements going on as we speak. People are using these digital doorways to find answers to their problems, to find new research, or maybe even to craft their own. So I want you to start thinking about this digital doorway. Could you see yourself opening the digital doorway in any one of these capacities? Take time to review this as you jot down your preliminary notes. So, as we think about opening the doors, there's a lot that we will be covering. We'll be looking at social media from a foundational perspective. We'll be looking at areas that you can begin to immediately step into, like microblogging, or community building, or community management, or figuring out digital strategy for what you want to actually do. So you will want to make sure that you are very organized, that you have your notes ready. And if I were you, you really want to have kind of like 4 sections in your folder, one for notes, others for references, maybe the other ones for my feedback to you, and lastly, what I call activation. This is where you're able to implement what's being taught. There's no purpose of me sharing this valuable, rich content if you're not able to actually apply it. So there are a plethora of individuals just waiting for you to help them solve their challenge. And I want you to start really thinking about the issues that those you want to serve have. you really want to think about having a service of passion. Something where, when you think about it, it's something that's so near and dear to you, it really helps you to distinguish your why from someone else. I mean, when I started Turning on the Lights Global Institute, I had a number of motivations. One of them was an amazing time I had as a young adult woman where I went to a women's circle, and the group was so authentic, the leader was so real, that I vowed to myself, if I had ever grown personally, I would want to emulate what I saw this woman leader do. And it has been an amazing journey for me to not only serve women or offer executive coaching to women, but also to see them thrive and flourish. So figure out for you, what could be an area of passion? Now, since we're at the beginning stage, some of you are really clear about what you want to do, and some of you have no idea, and that's okay. So I want you to make sure to pause this and take at least 20 minutes to really begin to think about all of the things you're passionate about. They don't even have to be related, but I want you to begin to process all the things that easily come natural to you. I mean, imagine what it would be like if you could wake up in the morning and it did not feel like you had to go to quote unquote work, but you just had to fall in love with doing the thing you naturally love to do. It's like telling a painter that he has to go teach drawing. I mean, for that painter, it's probably just like, Jimmy's on ice cream, something that's rewarding and at the same time fulfilling for someone else. So it's essential that we think about how to establish a template or a blueprint. I love how Dr. Martin Luther King shared in his blueprint speech that in today's time, or in his time when he said that speech, he was referencing the future, and he said, it's important to think about the blueprint that we create. An architect wouldn't just go out and start building a building without thinking about the dimensions, the measurements, and everything it would take to resurrect a strong building. In the same way, as we establish this blueprint, I want to ask you to have some patience. I know we live in a microwave society, and the challenge is to always want a result very fast, but be patient with me. I've taken time to purposely craft this course in a way that if you do it bit by bit, because many of you are working full-time jobs, many of you already have a busy schedule, if you do it bit by bit, you will have that blueprint to then activate into launching your business or your service. So just hang with me. Remember that what you have could potentially be unique. Of course, it will be valuable. Your service is worthy because it's helping someone to solve an issue, and there are millions of people with different types of issues. And we want to help you get out of this idea that I'm just not worthy. I'm not worthy of business success, or I'm not worthy to be paid a valuable price for what it is that I have to offer. So remember, you're unique, you're valuable, your service is worthy, and let's get you out of thinking, I'm not worthy of success that launching a new project or business could bring about. So I always love to think about this idea and this concept of fishing, kind of thinking, oh my goodness, when you're setting off to do something new, there's a little bit of anticipation, you're not quite sure, you're in a moment of meditation, you're trying to ponder and understand things. But you know what? That's really the place where you incubate. And for many women who attended the very first International Women Build Confidence Conference, I talked about what incubation is. It's this moment where you take away all distraction and you get very clear about what it is that you want. It's a moment where, number one, you are able to say, how can I offer something so valuable that it allows my service to stand out? It allows you to think about what I call the theater pyramid. When you go to watch a play or a movie, there's always the beginning, the rising action, the climactic point, and then the falling action and conclusion. Number three, you have a powerful story to tell. Number four, think about creativity, and sometimes you're offering something that's intangible and cannot easily be measured. But you know what? It takes the same energy to ask for $5 or $5,000. You want to ask yourself, am I fishing in the right pond, or am I not fishing in the right pond? And then figure out how to convert what you are doing. Once you find those people you want to help, how to convert them, and we call that a funnel. The process that it takes from them to get to point A to the end result, which is using or purchasing your services. So when you think about this, you really want to think about the story. You start off with a solution or something that you are doing, and initially you have strangers. These are what we call your leads. Then, you're hoping that they will have a transformation. Maybe they'll have a transformation by learning about what it is that you offer, and then they're going to have the opportunity to learn more about your solution, and hopefully they will have results that they can easily look at. See, you want them to understand you and to build and to see the credibility that you have, because you essentially want to build their like and their trust. They want to look at you and say, oh, I like so-and-so. I trust her. I've actually gotten a taste of who she or he is. And then you want to think about all of the building blocks, the components that make your service, product, project, or course really awesome, and try in every way possible to remove the friction, to remove any chance of misunderstanding. So I like to think about this kind of like a dance. What I love about dancing is if you go to a good party, the DJ kind of has clearly picked out his music beforehand. He has the music that you're going to dance to just to kind of get you to warm up. And then he has that music that rises at the peak of the night. And then as the party slows down, you then have softer music to let you know, okay, that moment has ended. You also want to think about, again, making the story of who you are and the service that you offer very easy to understand. Think again about process, plot, goals, milestones, measurable outcomes. So we have a lot to cover in BCM. Again, we will think about the funnel, how to get people to tie into what you are doing, the reciprocity, the scarcity, the unity, and the consistency. The other piece that I want to share with you is our agenda for the entire year with BCM. You want to make sure that you pull out your calendar so that you can understand how our process actually works. As this primarily is a hybrid course, you will have videos given to you every other Sunday, and then you will have activation weeks. So for example, January 28th, we will kick off our course, and you will create an introduction. What is my business about? Now you might say, oh my goodness, I have no idea. That's okay. I want you again to think about the earlier question I asked. What are you passionate about? I want you to take time to jot all the things that you are passionate about. Now, if you already have a central theme, like you're focusing on health and wellness, or finance, or fitness, or coaching, I want you to think about that, but think about it in many different ways. For example, you might like life balance, and you might want to do life balance coaching, but there are so many genres within life balance coaching. So you're going to have to take some time to actually think about, well, even within this central theme, what are some categories I want to focus on? And try not to say, oh, I want to focus on everything. For example, if you wanted to focus on life balance, a lot of times individuals have problems setting their time management, or saying no, or fitting in something new within a busy schedule. So you can pick one or two areas that you specifically want to focus on, because maybe you're an excellent someone who keeps time management very well, or maybe you're someone who's really great at giving advice about a particular topic. So you want to get as clear as possible. So I want to encourage you for this week, number one, rewatch this video. Understand that BCM is about a process. So I apologize. There's no quick fixes here. Number two, you want to really get a clear understanding that we are going in for a journey. And this journey, the way I want you to see it is the first semester, it's getting all the resources, materials, and tools that you need to move forward. And the second semester is activation. It's getting ready for you to launch. It's getting ready for you to really be crystal clear about those that you want to serve. So as we think about that in mind and you keep the end in mind, let's look at where we're going. So the first week, we're talking about your business. We're projecting based upon your passions, what could you actually have a business in? And I would even ask you to go as far as looking up one or two individuals that really relate to the industry you want to be in and highlight, what stands out to you when you look at that individual. Why do you think they are successful? And take a moment to jot that in your notes. So as we wrap up this orientation video, here is your assignment for this first week. I want you to write a paragraph about your passion, the things that you love to do. You should at least have 5 or 6. Now, if you have a central theme, I want you to come up with some categories within that theme that you want to do. For example, if you said finances, I want you to talk about budgeting or maybe learning how to stretch a shoestring budget. I'm not sure what your industry is, but take a moment to write a paragraph or two about the service that you would like to offer, about the different categories that make up that service, and just have fun with it. And lastly, find an image of an individual that you really look up to and take a moment to reflect on that. Now, in our course, we always have launch videos on Sunday, and I strive to have you submit your responses by Wednesday. And you can submit your responses on Wednesday within the BCM private group. That way other people get to meet you. Right now, we have a small cohort that we began with those of you who started IWBCC. So I would encourage you to share your information there. And then check the calendar for our live coaching dates, because we will convene on the weeks ahead. And some of these convene meetings will be via Zoom, and some of these meetings will be with on-demand video. So even if you can't make a live session, there will always be a video that you can catch and view so that you don't lose any time. But you want to make sure once you submit your work to send me your information and to let me know, hey, Dr. D, I have a couple of questions. I also want to ask you to make sure that you keep what you're doing private. Don't share it with everyone, because after all, this is your journey. This is your cocooning experience. So you want to be very careful to protect the very things that you are trying to do and the very things that you are trying to launch. But within the BCM private community, I think it's wonderful to share general ideas of things that you would like to do. So if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email, and I look forward to seeing you in our very first BCM kickoff during the week of January 28th. Stay tuned to all the emails, and we'll see you again soon.